Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today I've branched away from my usual series I do on Wednesdays to explain an extremely big myth and undiscussed topic, and that is how TNT affects Obsidian on factions. But before we start, wherever I've tried to look, there's almost no real answers, and it took me hours to find somewhere that had proper answers on the subject. As well as doing some looking into some code on factions and testing, I finally have some real answers. What this means though is that if it took me a couple hours to find any sign of answers, most people would just look it up, click the first link and believe it without cross-referencing it or anything else. And they would just give up and believe whatever they saw. So now hopefully everyone will have a place to go for some real answers. But anyway, to start off, on vanilla Minecraft, a single player world or a multiplayer survival server, Obsidian can't be destroyed in any possible way with any TNT cannon or TNT in general. But with commands though, that's a completely different story for another day. So now that that is out of the way, I can explain how it's different on factions. It's actually relatively complicated, but by default though, it takes 10 TNT one block away right beside the wall for Obsidian to break. But this is normally changed in the faction's config file, so generally on every server it'll be slightly different. So what this really means is that it takes 10 TNT to destroy Obsidian, and that's all it takes. Like, it takes that to destroy Obsidian as if it was like a normal block. But this is normally changed in factions, and this is how people can get into your base even when you think it's perfectly safe and secure. This is also why people use obsidian walls with water over top of it to protect their base. But this is extremely easy to get past, as you can just make something like a hybrid cannon or something a little bit bigger like a hybrid compressed cannon, which I'll be going over in a later video. The other way obsidian is affected is with integrity. So instead of taking a specific amount of TNT to destroy it, it will need to be hit with enough TNT in one spot. What I mean by this is that you need 10 TNT firing off inside each other right beside the wall to break it at the same time. But if you just had bursts of 5 TNT at the same time hitting it, it would never break. Different servers have different settings though, so it can get very confusing. So if you're a raider, I would stay on one server and learn its settings and how it works, then go wild. But if you're a defender, the best base design I can give you is a sky base, which is something that is really high in the sky, near the build limit, that has its roof at the maximum height of 256 blocks, with as many walls as possible on each side, while having them made of obsidian with water on top of them, and then you want to repeat this for each layer. So you have the water, then you have no gap, you just have obsidian and more water. Also try to have the biggest borders possible between where they are able to build and the edge of your base, as it gets harder to break into your base as the gap between the cannon and the edge of your base gets bigger, because they need precision and they need to use a lot of resources. Finally, don't have a block platform to stop the water, let it run straight to the ground. As for most hybrid cannons, you have to stack the sand before you can fire it properly. Also, no obsidian base is unraidable, so unless you have a bedrock base, expect to get raided at some point. It could take years though, if you take all the precautions. Anyway, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time with TNT Madness. But before I go, I've also started my second channel. I've got a couple of vlogs on there, and I've got, that's pretty much all I have at this point. I'm going to be doing updates on there now. I'm going to be doing behind the scenes stuff from there now on. But if you're a guy that doesn't like raw footage, because it's going to be a really casual channel, and my face isn't exactly the prettiest. But anyway, you can click that link in the description below, or you can click it in the outro. So I'll see you guys next time with TNT Madness.